So Abraham, who is usually noted as the first Hebrew, right? Understand the crossover. Understand that Africa, right? Abraham named this land Africa after the name of his son Afar. So we understand that this region here of Africa was given to Abraham's son with the Torah of Fur. So when we look at Carthage and the Punic Wars and the invasion of the Romans to conquer what they called Africa, it was this region here. Understand, Kush or Ethiopia, this region, right, was not colonized by the Romans. So understand when we talk about Africa, a fur in this region here, this is Africa where the 0 degrees is the central point. So when we talk about Abraham's, right, seed and the crossed over, understand the Most High commanded Abraham to get thee away from, right, his family. And right, so understand the crossing over of 120 degrees from the central, right, into this border, and then 120 degrees going this way into this border, right? So the 3 days that it takes, understand this is 12 hours, 120 degrees, right? See that? So back to the 0, 120. So understand what they call a supplementary angle, right? 120 degree angle, right? The supplemental 120 degree angles, understand 0 degrees and the supplementary angles. However, so Africa of first named after Abraham's son. Understand the Hebrews crossed over. What they crossed over was the Atlantic, the oceans, the waters. If you wanted to come into the land, no matter which way you came in, you had to cross over waters. If you wanted to come this way, you had to cross over waters, whether it was ice waters or not. So the populace of On, right? So now we see why they called the populace of On. Where is it? I actually look at populace On, the populace No, right, in the Bible, that was protected, fortified by the waters. Understand, when the Hebrews crossed over, this is the land of Shem that was given to Shem from Noah. So this is the land of Shem. So understand the crossing over. And the capital, the cap of man from 0 degrees, the cap 120 was placed upon man, right? Because it repented the Lord. The Lord said that his spirit would not always remain with man. So understand the cap of 120 degrees, right? And the seas, different oceans provide this cap because each ocean, as you'll see here, is divided, right, by these 120 degrees or the 60 meridian or the 120 meridian or the 60 meridian east. These divide the 3 seas. Why you see the peace sign, right, with the look like the Mercedes, right? So understand the why and the protection, right, of the 3 seas, the Pacific, the Atlantic, and the Indian, right? So understand the crossing over that would take place from 0 to come into this land, right? You would need to cross over water to go into Asia from 0 degrees, okay? You need to cross over the water to come into this land here. As I showed you, they call it the populace On, the great island continent. This is who Herodotus and a lot of the ancient Greeks refer to this island continent. So you understand that? So understand the capital, the kaf, the cap. We're talking about the cap, the capital, the bending, the palm of the hand. This is what this here, the Scorpio. Right, so understand the Scorpio and the hook of the Scorpio. And we'll talk about this calf in California being the capital of the kafar. Afar, right? Abraham's son, Keturah, afar. Kafar, the cap of afar. So understand Morocco and Libya and the treaty Tripolis and peace and friendships and all of these relationships here with this location here, West Africa, the slave story of all the ports here and the transatlantic slave trade. It's dealing with the cap, the capital. As we'll see here, that the cap, right, the bend, the open, the cup, the cap. So talking about the top. Here, cap breaks down into many different things. Talking about darkness, the land of gloom, the land of the north, and you'll see that the land of the north, right, dark, gloomy. You see here, understand the dark and gloomy. Bend outside, the tame, tameri. So we're talking about the taming. So we're talking about the shepherd's hook and the taming of tameri here in this lane, right? Meaning, right, this is Scorpio. This is afar, right? And May, Taurus, the heifer, the red heifer, the backsliding heifer. So the capital, the cap, we're supposed to oversee here, which is at this 33 degrees. So understand the 33 degrees and the masons of the masons of May, Taurus, the Torah, right, the turning, Saturn, the black cube, Saturn, all of this is based upon this layout. So understand the cap, the kafar, the capital, Scorpio here at the 120 degrees that oversees the tallying and the markings to record the days. That's why Libro's here, the books, the recordings, right? So when it says if someone to reign, it had to be counted. You had to have your processions to go around the earth to be counted as a ruler and to reign. So the years of your reign, when you did the processions of the Lord, the pilgrimage during your rulership was counted and tallied here in the West. So this is why the manuscripts of 1558 had to be destroyed by the Spanish in order for them to provide this edict of 1492 with the expulsion took place of the Jews. Right, this allowed them to come over and forge identities as the people of the book, the crossover people, the Christians, and the different, this is why religion and the Council of Nicaea and all of these different things were taking place, the wars, the crusades, understand how the documents, the tallying of the reign, the currency, the control of the flow. Right, so understand the taming or for the yoke, right, to milk land, the capital. So understand this is the ending point of the day. So this is what gives this the financial district of New York, Wall Street, and here in San Francisco the ability to check the markets and do the best financial decisions based upon being in this region, this location. So this is Cap, the capital, Kaepernick, the gold rush. Understand the significance of these things that we see played out. So we're talking about the bending of the knee, right? The cap, Kaepernick, bending of the knee, the shepherd, right? Tame, right? To milk. So understand the cap, capital. The mark that was placed. Understand why the mark was placed. This is the recordings here that take place here in this land for the completion of the day. So when we see the sun rising here, it is actually coming in this region. This was the bar set here. So when the sun sets here, right, it can be seen here. And when the sun rises here, it could be seen here. So the twilights and the lights here made the divisions and the dividings, right? So those that erred, right, coming, that did not pass over, right, understand the Passover comes in here in this time frame. Those that erred and did not pass over, that rejected the way, the turning of truth to Torah, to build, right, rejected and ransacked. It went reverse, right, backslid. So we're talking about these homosexualities and receding excessively, right? Understand why we come into this region. You find here in these islands, right, the recessive traits, the blonde hair, and a lot of these recessive traits. When these ramsackers, 49ers came in, they came in through this way here, and these regions here were pillaged. The women, when you look at the Ada people, the Negritos, and how they've been mixed in these regions, right, by the Asianoid Mongoloids that invaded these lands along with the British, right, mixing in with these people. There's still a strand of left Aboriginal Negrito Ada people on the land, but the majority of them have been mixed in, and now other people have taken identities as Filipino and different titles and rule over them in these lands, in these regions here. But you see here, those that did not want to come into the judgment of truth reverse and began to do obscenities, rape, did all kind of things that you see here. You'll see the walls in the Hindu and how they did the divas, right, and the Kama Sutra and the provocativeness of the ecstasy of Asia, Isis, right, because this is the birth that's coming near, the birth houses, the waters, the birth houses, the waters, the aroma, the eroticism, all of these things, the motion in the ocean, that energy, right? To understand the pleasure and that booty and the spoil that took place on men, sailors that were stranded on these islands that took advantage of the women and slaughtered the men and conquered these lands. What's up, Al?
What's up, friend?